what's up? What's up? Why is E and B not in here? There we are.
Hello, we're here.
Kick me out already.
We have had the worst luck tonight. Ditto is not in the building, which that's fine. And and he has computer issues, so he's not going to be with us tonight. But what's going on, guys?
Hi.
Not much, man.
How are you guys? Good?
Yeah, it's been a busy day, busy week. My parents swung into town for a little bit to say hello, so that was good to see them. But yeah,
When you say swing in, where are they swinging from?
they are about an hour and 20 minutes away from us, so not too far.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's my month has been just it's the same. Every day you wake up and do the same thing. It's getting to the nitty gritty now though, because I gotta by the weekend I'll have both toys finished for the NYCC, and now I'm just painting my booty off for Series 3 minis. So
You're busy, man.
yeah, but you know what? I'm so excited. Series 3 is gonna be insane. Absolutely insane. I can't wait to see what you do. I can't wait to get all these artists are starting to send me the stuff, and they're incredible pieces. So,
Yep.
are you excited for your pieces? I know you started them.
I am. I have, so one of them is almost done. I'm waiting for what did Raven call it? The chef's kiss of the end of it.
Okay.
For one piece. And then another piece I have the idea in my brain. I've just got to go with it.
Yeah.
And then the other two I'm still I'll knock them out. I just have to think about it for a bit. Hey, Sketch.
Yeah. Let's see who's here. I just the chat because I had so many computer problems tonight. We got hi Shy Guy, Irish is here, Shep, Sketch, BK Bricks, Rock Inc is here. Ditto is in the back of the building.
Sketch said, "Looks like I have to co-host now."
He's in the dumpster area, but he's in the chat. Tammy's here. ACB, we've missed ACB. He's been busy. So let's see who else. Matt's here. Is that Dondo?
Dondo.
Let's see who else. Joel's here. Welcome in, guys. The new name is now on the branding is all the same now, so that's good. No more rock and roll on YouTube. So
consistency.
All right. So you guys have anything cool that you guys picked up this week? Bless you, B.
Picked up allergies.
The Hello Kitty that Jason sent us.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me go get it. It's in Maya's room.
Okay.
I picked up well, I didn't pick up. I actually got it. Is this big blue guy behind me here?
Oh yeah, I saw that in your show. That thing is crazy.
Absolutely huge. I didn't think it was that big, but it's big.
I think it's huge. I did get this guy right there. That's Jeff Soto.
Oh, nice.
I forget what it's called, but I got that from Pop Couple.
We got this one. This is from Jason gifted it to us very, very kindly, but this is from Sneak.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was from my show, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that I missed.
Yeah, Sneak had that on my show. Yeah, that's cool.
Crazy. I love it.
Dondo, those cool lights on his shelves are new.
Your shelves look really good. Mine is getting ready to all get redone. So, all right. So I know Benny. It's late for Benny. Benny's usually in bed by 8:00. He's got a little, he's got kids and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna get him on. Guys, get your questions ready for Benny. Benny is, if you're into designer toys or if you have bought designer toys before, you guys know Benny. Benny's been around forever. He's helps everybody he can get his hands on. He's helping people. Just a great person. He's helped me out 1,000%. And he's going to help me do more stuff this coming year. So I can't wait to get into some different type of figures and some soft vinyl maybe for me too. So he's just been a great person in the community. just the staple in designer toys. Like, again, if you don't know Benny, you're not into designer toys yet. So we're going to interview him tonight, talk to him about NYCC, which I can't wait to be there with Benny.
So jealous.
Yes. So let's bring on Benny from Tenacious Toys. Fix your hat, Benny. Are you good to go? Got his hair and makeup done? We're good? Okay.
Primping?
Hair and makeup is done.
There you
go. Hey.
Guys, can you hear me?
What is up? Why is my computer acting all crazy?
Uh-oh. More technical difficulties.
That's like,
what's up, Benny?
That's like my son. Whenever I'm with my son trying to put him to bed, he's acting all crazy. So maybe it's just me.
No, it's not you, Benny. It's not you. It's today. It's something in the air. Something
Could be me.
It's that retrograde, all the planets thing.
Dude, everything's in retrograde right now.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, Benny, I'm thinking you have Tenacious Toys is an absolutely huge warehouse corporation. You got secretaries and office people and doormen and all this kind of stuff. And Benny's like, no, it's just me in my house and just I'm here.
Well, I do have like I think about 10 years ago, I graduated out of keeping all the inventory in my home, and I got like a warehouse somewhere else. Well, first I got storage units, and then I got a warehouse in Jersey, and then I just needed more space and more efficiency, so I found a 3PL up in Michigan, which is where I'm at for the time being. It's going to change, but I can't spend all my time like packing orders because it's too many orders. I literally couldn't do it. So I need a professional warehouse to do that. Basically.
Yeah. I bet you that's an awesome feeling though. The orders get taken and somebody else packs them and ships them.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It actually changed my life once I made that decision. I remember one Christmas. So like Christmas, we get a lot of orders, I remember one Christmas, I was like, I wonder how many orders I can actually pack and get to the post office in one day. And I did one day working all day. With this when I was doing it with myself. And well, I don't have a car. I'm in New York City. So I'm walking to my storage unit and packing everything up and then walking home, putting postage on it, and then walking it to the post office. And I was able to do 33 orders. And now like I'll have a toy drop, and that took me 8 hours. And now I'll have a toy drop over the weekend, and I'll have like 100 orders stacked up on a Monday, and my warehouse finishes it by the end of Monday, and I spend 0 hours on it.
Wow. So yeah.
That's literally it's like infinity better for me.
Game changer. That's crazy.
Yeah, really game changer.
So Benny, how long? Okay, let's go back a little bit because I do have a couple questions, and it's personal for me because I just been wondering about how you do your different work with your artists and stuff. How long have you been going? Like when did Tenacious Toys start?
Really kind of like 2004. We established the business, I think, officially in 2005, but 2004 we were already buying stuff from various places and selling it on eBay. That was like 2004. I didn't have any idea how to make a website. So basically we acquired things. I got myself into Toy Fair, and I was placing orders at Toy Fair. Back in 2004, there's actually designer toys at Toy Fair. Now it's kind of like an afterthought, some vendors have some of them, but back then I was able to get into Toy Fair and place a bunch of orders and actually start a business. And sold that stuff on eBay for a couple of years and went in that direction until I realized that eBay was like just taking such a huge chunk out of every sale. Like it's like 15%.
Wow.
And, that's like a big margin to lose out of your sale. And so I started to have to figure out how to make a website, like make a shop and get into e-commerce. That was 2006 or something like that. And, I guess you could say I've been in business 19 years and I've sort of have my own e-commerce shop, maybe 17 years or something like that.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a long time. That is a long time. So
you've
been around a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were around that far back.
Yeah. 2000. I got I managed to score a Kid Robot wholesale account right before they released Dunny Series 2. So
Wow.
I have Dunny Series 2 was one of my first wholesale orders with them. And this is way back in the day when like Tokidoki didn't really have the toy division. Like Strange Co. made the Tokidoki toys, and I was ordering that stuff from Strange Co. Later on, they spun off and started manufacturing their own. But it's like way before everything. This is back when like Weedy Wheat was around and Critterbox and like Ningyushi and Upper Playground and all these companies that made these wonderful toys that most of which aren't around anymore.
Right.
So
So you have, so what you do is you have artists that you work with, certain artists that you work with. They have their product. You put it up on your website. You pack and ship, right? Because or are they shipping it if they have the product?
are you talking about like customs?
Yeah, or customs, or like certain toys. Like if, like for instance, the the toxin that I got from your website, right? Yeah. That came from your warehouse, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, if it's a custom one-off toy, I'm leaning more towards just having the artist keep it until such time as I sell it. Because it's my opinion that those items should be shipped as little as possible. If it's a newbie artist or like they're sort of making stuff at home and they have the stuff at home already, like it's really not a big deal for me to like put it up for sale on my website. And if the orders just sort of trickle in, then I can shoot the orders over to them and they'll fulfill it all and just give me a tracking number and then I'll pay them out.
Got it.
Once we get up to a certain level, like if they become really popular, and like we do a release where it's like it's 20 orders or it's 30 orders that they have to ship, that's like way too many. That should be at my warehouse, so the warehouse can just do that.
That's like a job. That's like a second job for an artist to have to ship.
It is.
That. Yeah,
it is. Like people don't realize. So one of the real problems with like customizing and producing your own designer toys is once you get to a certain level, your time crunch is horrible because you're a creator, right? And you should be spending your time thinking about your art and creating your art and doing your art, if you're still capable of doing it by hand, painting or casting resin or whatever you're doing. But then there's all the other parts, right? There's shipping and accounting and customer service, right? It's super time consuming. And then there's marketing yourself on the internet and all this. There's like 73 social media channels now. It's crazy. I mean, so then, like, I hear from artists all the time where one of the main pain points that they have is they don't really want to be on social media all the time, like updating this and updating that and trying to figure out how to interact with an algorithm and what to do. Like a lot of them are just like, dude, I don't want to do that. I just want to paint, And so, it's a tough space being an independent artist. That's a good
question,
Joshua. That people ask that a lot. I don't know if you want me to like.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Brandon, I hear crickets. Somebody said, anybody hear crickets? I was like, I hear.
Sorry, do you want me to move the crickets?
No.
No, it's fine.
Keep the crickets. You're good.
I have a gecko.
I didn't know if
That's
I
amazing.
didn't know if Rock had like a sound effect that he was.
I don't hear it. Is it actually crickets? Because I don't hear it.
Okay. Yes, I have a gecko, and he's.
Oh my goodness! So you heard it here first on DT4 that we got crickets on the live. I've never had that before. That's a first, Benny.
I can go move them into the other room if that bothers you.
If everybody else can hear it, I couldn't hear it. So
I think
I was hearing things.
Makes me feel like home, like like I'm out in the country.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to Sketch's question there.
Yeah. How do you select new artists to work with? I am pretty easy to find and work with, and so for the most part, I think if you just come at me with finished products, so like here's the thing I have, like here's a toy, or here's my concept, or here's what I'm doing, and you're like ready to ship it, and all you really need is like a leg up with like promotion, or like getting in the door of like an established shop. Like that's the best kind of artist for me. Like someone who, like, you don't even have to be a big artist. You could just be starting out. One of the ones that jumps to mind is Resin Rookie. And Resin Rookie, the first time I met him, his artwork, his resin pieces were so clean and tight. It was amazing. And so, like, in my opinion, he was someone who was like, he's already ready. Like, his products are fantastic, right? And all he needs is just, to be out there in front of people.
Yeah.
And he actually did that all on his own. But I'm just saying, when he came up to me, his products were clean and tight and perfect and ready, and the concept was awesome. Sometimes people come up to me and they're like, can you make my toy? And that's like such a loaded question, because it's, first of all, just because I make something doesn't mean any of us can sell it. And second of all, when you ask me to make your toy, it's like so time consuming and so expensive. And it's really like, it's like having a baby. It takes forever. It costs $1 billion. You have to really nurture it. I can't just like make your toy. It's not like I don't just like pump toys out of like a machine like this,
Like rock.
Yeah, but yeah, he does it. He's always live on the internet, like painting something. Go on.
So, but yeah, because I talked to Benny about I wanted to go do it. I wanted to do the whole experience of a vinyl toy, because I got the resin thing down. I can print my own, I can paint my own, all that. But I wanted to see what the vinyl was all about, like how that process. And that's exactly what Benny told me. Hey, it's a lot. There's so many different questions that we got to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff. Molds are expensive.
Yeah.
Like
it has to do with quantity, complexity, what the deco looks like, the paint, what material you want, what the feel is, like what the different shapes are. How are you going to package it? How many are you going to make? How are you going to market it? How are you going to pay for it? Because like, I'm not like the Bank of Benny, like I've run successful Kickstarters before. I've raised 10,000, I've raised 100,000 for different projects. But like, even that is like having a baby, like a Kickstarter is like another baby, and then and it's a stressful baby, because you got like 500 people being like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? So that ends up like super stressful. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into vinyl toy production. A lot of different options, a lot of places to make it. And it really just depends on like how much you want to put into it and what the final product looks like for you. So like, there's no one answer to that question. There's like a million different answers. It's like a whole rainbow.
Yeah, that's.
Do you have other people that you like? So somebody does bring up that, like, I want to do a toy collaboration or whatever with you. Do you have other people you have to run that by, or are you kind of like a one-man show? You make the.
No, I own the company, so I make. I mean, obviously, when I'm doing something really big, I talk to my wife about it. But
smart man.
There you go.
But making some resin figures, or even like producing a brand new like Amarafubi figure at Mile High, like I just go do it. I'm like, okay, I can pay for this, and I do it.
They're gonna help me with one of mine. I met them at Designer Con last year.
Yeah,
you recommended them, actually.
I love Mile High.
Yeah,
I firmly stand behind the work that he does. I have him making, the first thing I had him make was my mascots, the dogs. I should have brought a whole bunch of stuff out here. I'm sorry.
I should have brought yours too. I have one, but it's this guy. But it's a toy. It's the toy.
I have a bunch of cool stuff. Hang on.
Stickers.
I gifted one of those off of Whatnot. It was when the gifting had just started, and I want to say it was like J. Roddy's birthday or something. And I saw those dogs in the store in the Buy It Now, and so like I gifted one. I thought they were so cool.
They are.
I'm going to show you some exclusive previews.
We like exclusive previews.
So let's see. What's name a color? What's your favorite color?
Black.
Red.
Black. Okay. I got a black one. So this one is actually, this is very dark grayish purple. This is a one-of-a-kind danger dog made in the USA. It's articulated, so it's a two-part soft vinyl figure made in the USA. This is my shop mascot. It's got sparkles on it in there somewhere. You can see.
Yeah.
It's two different colors of vinyl. This is called marbling, so there's no paint on it. But you can't really see it very well on this one. Let me show you. This one is why I really like. I mean, aside from the quality of the work, this is why I really enjoy working with Mile High. So, you know, obviously I know a lot of artists and I can get, you know, my dogs painted, but
oh, he's rainbow.
There's no paint on this.
Oh my gosh.
That is so cool.
All vinyl.
Wow.
So it's just different colors of vinyl
Oh, that's cool.
poured into the mold, and it's called marbling. There's even some sparkles in here. And so I've got a whole box of these. Every single one is different, you know,
Man, this is
and they're made in the USA, right? So I think the molds are actually produced in Asia and then shipped back over to Colorado.
Yeah, that's what he told me, and I love that it's made in the USA. Like he does them there. Like I love that.
Oh
That's
man,
crazy.
those are so cool. You know, it'd be really cool to get a bunch of artists to do like different designs on it, do like a show of
Yeah, I mean, I have
dog.
a blank, like I have a bunch of danger dogs that are single color. And I have done a bunch of danger dog shows in the past, and I could do more of them. I just have to pick my battles. You know, I've got 2 custom shows at New York Comic Con, as you know, Jim. So, you know, that's really, I'm kind of full up with like all the back end work associated with that.
Sketch would do some crazy things with a danger dog.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
I like that those are like every one is unique. You know, they're not. You know, it's not the same.
So that's vinyl.
it is vinyl. Yeah.
Super soft. It's really soft. And you want to guys go watch a video on that on YouTube. It is so satisfying watching them pull that out of the mold. It comes out of a circle about that big, and they wrap the rubber or the vinyl and they just suck it out. They pull it out. It's so cool to watch. Go watch a video. It's pretty neat to watch.
So Benny, can you buy those on your website?
I like that one.
In different colors, yes. These are available in the last thing I did before I had Mile High make these is I had to make red, orange, yellow, green, turquoise, and purple. So I've got the whole rainbow on my website right now, in the 5-inch size and a mini size. And these special ones, these one-of-a-kind marbled ones, are going to be, I'm just saving them for New York Comic Con. They sell so fast at New York Comic Con. I set them all up on the table, and everyone sees them. They're like, oh, they look at them. They're like, oh, I love that. Orange is my favorite color. And it's just like sold. You know, over.
What are they going to be selling for, Benny?
$40 for the 5-inch, and it's $10 for the 2.5-inch.
I got the little 2.5 blue-inch, the blue one. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's that was like, you know, I really like those because that's like my low cost thing, which I can offer to people. They call them finger puppets because this is a one piece. It's a one piece soft vinyl Sifubi style figure. I leave the holes in these finger puppet. But I like this because this shows you people who know toys, they understand how this is made. Like this is the Japanese Sifubi style. And it's a single piece. These are both sculpted by Nemo, Mike Mendez, my buddy, in Queens. And I just love them.
Yeah, those are easy to grab and probably.
Rock, will you buy me one for NYCC?
I will. I'll get you one. I'll get you one. So speaking of NYCC, Benny, I know you've been going live a little bit on Instagram talking about NYCC coming up. You have, and the only reason I know is because you got me going into it. So talk a little bit about what you have going on. As you can see, I'm wearing my t-shirt.
Nice.
I'm wearing my t-shirt.
Nice.
talk about that and let us know what's going to be going on for NYCC.
I should have worn mine, but I actually wore it yesterday, so it's in the wash right now. Okay, where do I start? Well, first of all, what I do at New York Comic Con every year is I get a bunch of booths. I get a whole island of booths, and I put on a collective style show. And that means that every table, as you walk around my booth, has a different creator, a different independent creator who either makes statues or apparel, or they're an artist and they make prints or stickers or original art, or we have a tattoo artist, we have a children's book writer / artist, we have live sculpting, people sculpting by hand, we have people who are 3D sculptors. So it's really the whole range of creators. Most of them are from around here in the New York City area. I have one guy from Hawaii, Pancho Avalos, one guy from, I think, California, Das Frank. Juan Muniz is from Las Vegas. The rest of my crew are sort of East Coasters, and they've been exhibiting with me for a really long time. So the overall picture of my booth is leave
it to Red. Who invited Red Guardian to this show?
I'm gonna give you all my dirty laundry, Red. You can have it. So I have this huge booth, right? But one of the stations in this booth, 1/10 of the booth is Tenacious Toys. And within that booth, I'm having 2 custom shows and then a whole bunch of shop exclusives and all kinds of stuff, appearances, signings, and all kinds of stuff like that. Custom show number 1 is Arlux. So Arlux has really made a name for himself over the past couple of years. He is Arlux is really a Filipino toy designer and manufacturer, and he makes toys like the Cyber Skull that Jim is holding up right there, and he also produces works for other shops and companies and stuff like that. So the Cyber Skull is the Arlux, I would say, the main best known platform, and it's a either 3 or 6 or 12-inch tall human figure with like a sort of almost like a cybernetic skull face, like a little bit creepy, a little bit machine-like, but it's a skull, and then the top of the head is a clear dome, and underneath the clear dome is a brain. So
show it off here. This is exactly the figure right here.
Yeah, that's a factory painted,
right,
or hand painted Cyber Skull. Like that would be one of the standard releases.
But this is the actual figure that we'll be doing.
So the what Jim got and the other artists got were blank white versions of that with no paint on them, obviously. And there's gonna be about 40 artists in that show, and some of them are from Asia. Half of the artist roster was picked by Arlux, and half was picked by me. So we're sort of got the whole world of customizing up in there. It's gonna be a really, really interesting show, and there's already been like some finished customs percolating out into videos and posts on Instagram, and you guys are just going to be blown away. It's a super cool show. So that's show number 1. I guess let me go into the shirt thing. Jim is wearing one of the shirts. This is the old shirt, but this says Arlux. It's his like graffiti logo. I have a shirt up on my website in my Arlux section. It's the only thing in the Arlux section because everything Arlux always sells out immediately, which is great. So the only thing in there is that print-on-demand shirt. Buy the shirt, wear it to New York Comic Con. I'll give you a set of free pins that match. So 3 free pins. So basically, the Arlux logo that's on Jim's shirt, this logo as an enamel pin, and then a matching orange Danger Dog pin. So 3 free pins when you just wear the shirt in to the show. And we're gonna have apparel actually. Jim, maybe I can introduce you to Five Borough. Five Borough is embroidering some caps and
nice.
and some sweaters for me with the Arlux logos. So
Nice.
That's contact for you. So that's one thing I'm doing at New York.
So you'll be able to, if we wear this shirt to your booth, if somebody goes on your website, buys this shirt,
yes,
they wear it to NYCC, they go up to your booth, they get all 3 pins or just the one?
Yeah, no, all 3 of them.
Cool.
All 3 pins. Yeah, it's just to get people a little excited about the show and the brand. You know, I mean, it's sort of like some people may or may not be familiar with Arlux, but I mean, definitely everyone in our little toy scene is going to be familiar with Arlux after.
I've been chatting with him. He's in the Philippines. I've been chatting with him back and forth. He's actually going to help me do some stuff as well. So super nice guy.
Yeah,
super nice guy.
Super awesome. So that's really like the main thing. Like, to go back to Joshua, was like, what, you know, how do you choose to work with artists? Like, be nice and friendly and positive and easy to work with. That's like the first thing, you know. That's the very first. I mean, that's like over and above all the art and everything, you know.
Don't be a dick. That's number one.
Yeah,
I like that. We got to get a shirt. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Benny's pro tip number 1: don't be a dick.
We'll say, you know, as most people know, Benny is a very, very friendly guy. I stumbled upon him in NYCC, and we talked for a little bit. And that was the first time I met him. I don't know if you remember. I had like a Whatnot hat on.
Oh my God!
You thought that I worked for Whatnot? Yeah, I know. I mean, I had the hat on, so it makes sense. But
I didn't know. That's great. That's sort of like all you guys like doing shows on Whatnot, and that just sort of like got into my, you know, it was backstage, and then it became front stage, and then I'm like, this platform's cool. Let me do that.
I was super excited whenever you joined the platform. I was like, oh my gosh, Tenacious is on here now. Oh, it's like official.
I remember the day before Benny goes on, he's like, I'll call you. I got to call you. Let's set up a call. And then you just figured it out. You had no issues at all. It worked great.
I've had issues, but you know, one of the people that comes on all the time has been super supportive is Merch, Mr. Merchbot, and like, he always tunes in when I'm on, and he knows everything about the platform. I'm like, Merch, how do I do this? And he's just like, bloop, and I'm like, oh my God, he's saved so many of my shows by like telling me.
There's a lot of really amazing people in the designer community.
Yeah.
Like, we've really fallen in love, like, over the past 2 years. We were initially in Funko and kind of moved over, and designer community just in general has come in clutch. I mean, it's like a little family. And so, yeah, it's really cool how positive the community is as a whole compared to some of the other, like, on, you know, platforms that you just kind of can get exposed to online. That it seems like Whatnot has a really positive base, and I'm thankful for that. So we're glad you're over there with us for sure.
Yeah, it's been really, really fun. You know, like, everyone is like super jazzed. Like, I mean, we all just talk and people ask questions. It's been really awesome. You know, I mean, and you know, one of the things is, like, I'm supposed to be the expert, right? But I get on there, and sometimes, like, the people watching my show, they're like, oh no, they're like, no, I know about that series. Like, no, this is like, you know, this is a rare one. What you really want is this one. Like, oh, you got the super chase. So like, oh, like, pick the blind box right in the middle, like in the 3rd row. And I'm like, that's the chase. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
All right. So let's do show number 2.
Thank you. Show number 2 is another a person like you'd be interested in hearing her story. Her name is Rachel. She's Heartbat Studio, and she did a Kickstarter to fund the production of vinyl toys, which are probably made in I believe they're made in China. So that's kind of what you're talking about when you talk about like getting in there. I try to stay aware of the designer toys that are happening on Kickstarter. Every once in a while, like, I will push a Kickstarter over to funded by like buying a bunch, you know, by doing like a wholesale order or something like that. If someone needs it, like if they're this close, like I can push it over. All people have to do is be like, hey, my Kickstarter is 6 days out, and I need, you know, I'm like $1,000 away, and I'm like, awesome, great, like, you know, let me put that money in, and then you just make your stuff, and then when it's ready, you just ship me that amount. And so I think I backed her Kickstarter. I was in there somewhere. I got product from it, and we've been in contact. She's really, really nice. She's got a great design sense, and she's very crafty, like you, Jim. She has done all this stuff on her own. She never asked me for help. She just did it all on her own, and she makes her own enamel pins and patches, and she made her own vinyl toys. And that's like, got to respect someone who can do all that stuff and make it look good. So
what's the name of the artist?
Her business is Heart Bat Studio. Heart Bat, one word, studio.
She's really nice too. I've been talking with her too because she's amazing. She's a hustler.
She is a hustler. She was at 5 Points as well, and she had a really nice booth. And she, you know, at some point we were talking about getting the word out about her vinyl, and I was like, well, you know, what about like a custom show at New York Comic Con? And she was like, that's awesome. And she was just like, how would we do that? And so I like went through the whole thing with her, and
is that it?
Yes, that's Cat Bat. Yeah, that is Cat Bat. It's a cat with it's like a vampire cat. It's got bat wings and you know. So it's
mine is not gonna look like that. I will just say that.
But that custom shows are awesome.
Yeah,
you never know what you're gonna get. It could look like anything. I remember Nemo, my friend Nemo from Queens. A lot of times when he customizes something, it's like you can't even see the platform in there. Oh, Nervous Wreck was famous with that too. You'd send him something, and then he'd send back like a monster built around, like your toys in there, but it's like this giant monster. So, like, you never know what you're gonna get. So we have a somewhat smaller custom show with her with that platform, and that's more like 20 artists. But you know, all told. And then some of the artists are in both shows. Like I would say like 4 artists are actually in both shows. But it's going to be a big bunch of really cool customs. There's probably going to be, you know, 50 to 60 different artists represented at my booth. So it's going to be a really cool show for us. And it's going to be really eye-opening. And I hope it's really worth it to all those artists, you know, to get their name out there and be at New York Comic Con, whether they're in person or just their piece or whatever. That's kind of the whole, it's kind of the whole point, right? That's how we build this whole community up, is like get all these names out there. People are doing good work, you know, customers are discovering new artists. Like that's the whole point of all of this, basically.
Yeah. I'm so excited and I told myself last year when I went to NYCC, I was all Funko back, you know, during that show. So this year, I have so many people to meet that I've met this year via the internet and different, you know, communications and the website and creatives cards and all that. I can't wait. Like Benny get to meet in person, like all these artists. I'm super, super excited. So
yeah, it's always like a complete whirlwind of like human interaction, you know, from the beginning all the way to the end. I mean, it's like, sometimes I need to step back and just like sit down quietly and eat a sandwich, because like there's like this kind of conversation that we're having right now multiplied by 100 like every day for 4 days, you know. So it's like really intense. So you know, but it's fun every year to reconnect with everyone, you know, because I don't have a brick and mortar, so like this is my brick and mortar. Basically, you know, this is my chance to have FaceTime with everyone.
So so you actually purchased that huge area where all the other artists are going to be?
Yeah, it's my booth. The whole thing's my booth. I signed the whole contract for it. It's 10 booths actually.
Wow. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's a big space. It's you know, I mean, it's an island of booths. That's why last year I branded it Tenacious Island. It was like it's you know, it's 2x5 booths, so it's the whole thing. There's aisle around the whole thing, and we're right in the corner, which is like, it sounds bad, but it's actually an awesome spot because everyone funnels back to the corner at some point. So I think for my booth, it really gives everyone at every point around my booth a chance to like have a bunch of people in front of them, like no matter which corner or side of the booth that my booth members are on. Like, I've walked around there at busy times during Comic-Con, and people will be packed like 3 or 4 deep at each of their stations. I'm like, I cannot believe how many people are surrounding this booth right now. I actually went upstairs. You can go upstairs at the Javits, and there's these little weird windows where you can look out over the show floor and you can see all the booths. And I took a picture of my booth, and it was just astonishing how much crowd was. Not people randomly pointed at my booth, you know, stacked up like in front of Concrete Jungle and in front of like my buddy Bun and in front of this guy Kudos and, you know, in front of the FU, the pin vendors and Nightlife. I got two vendors that like only like pretty much focus on pins to creators that I know. So nice. It's just a really fun, and everything in my booth cannot be found anywhere else in the show or anywhere else on Earth. Like, it's just like, it's all right there, you know, and it's all exclusive to those people because they created them, you know. So I'm really proud of the variety of the booth, you know. It's like a carnival basically. So it's always super fun.
Yeah, I can't
compared to last year, how big is your booth compared to that?
It's the same size, same booth.
Same size. Okay, cool. I was about to say, because I remember it being pretty big.
Yeah,
couldn't miss it. So
it goes all the way from there's an aisle. Javits is a little bit weird because there's kind of like sections of it, and like smaller shows they can close these big doors and make like different rooms at the Javits Center. But for Comic-Con, they have them all open. So we're in the corner of one of the spaces, and right at the end of my booth, the front end towards the front of the building is one of the big highways, the big human highways that goes from all the way north to south in the Javits Center. And so it's actually a really good location because it's a really wide aisle, and you can walk all the way down to like 30. Let's see, it starts at 34th. You can walk all the way down to like 36th or 7th Street and all the way up to 35th Street, like 2 blocks long, this huge aisleway. And my booth is right at the edge of it.
Wow. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait now. It's going so fast. These weeks are going by so fast because have 4 different things going at once and dealing with the artist stuff coming in to me and doing those 2 custom pieces. And it's just been a lot of fun. And it's going to be, everybody keeps telling me, when you get to NYCC, you'll have a chance to breathe, but you won't. It's going to be 100 miles an hour for 4 days.
Yeah. It's really like that. I always need like a vacation after that.
And we're going to be going out, like we're going to be hanging out after the show. I'm meeting Sketch for the first time, Cardi Artist, Red Guardian, of course. I'm going to be in his booth during the weekend. Like, all these people want to hang out after the show and get something to eat or whatever. It's going to be a long weekend. So
yeah, pace yourself. Don't stay
popular over here.
Stay out too late. Don't stay out too late.
No.
Is it?
Just don't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just stay up.
That's New York style.
Now, I'm old. I'll be in bed by 3, something like that. Yeah, Red says we're hanging, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So Benny, one other question while I have it on my brain. I remember it had to be at least a year ago, maybe longer now. You went and talked to a college, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
So you have kind of a set little, I don't know what the word is, presentation of doing a designer toy, right? Like
I do. I literally have a it's Jason Freeney. He wanted he runs like keynotes. So I made a keynote. It's like keynotes like PowerPoint. You know, the first time I did it, I kind of I sort of went all out, and I gave this small class of like budding toy designers like way too much information. And I realized after that it was too much to digest. So one of the things I did for this past year or the year before, the year before, was I really dialed it back into like 2 two main topics that I thought would be appropriate for people who are just starting out. The two things I talk about are like what to sell when you're an artist, and my different suggestions from the lowest cost things up to, because the designer, Jason Freeney teaches a designer toy class, and I kind of wanted to make it really clear to them that making a designer toy is the top part of that. It is the most intense, most time intensive, and most cost intensive thing you can do. But there's many things you can do as you build up to that stage to market your artwork and your ideas and your concepts and your characters, or whatever the thing is. Like, you don't need to start at designer toys. You could start at, you can make something much small, like pins, hats, shirts, prints, stickers, like whatever. There's a whole progression of that stuff, so you don't get in over your head. And then I also talked about the concept of world building, because one of the when I was thinking about what I should tell these people in the class, I was like, I should answer the questions that I'm most frequently asked by newbies. So the other thing, in addition to what to actually make, is how to get people interested in your art. Like, what is that connection that happens? And I guess the overarching idea is you need to build a world. You need to build, what is your universe? Like, you can't just make a character and, like, in the vacuum of space and put it out there and expect people to relate to it. Yeah. The character needs a story, a conflict, relationships, a mission. You need a mission. What are you trying to communicate? Like, there's a thing. There's a reason why storytelling is such a part of humanity. It's because people identify with stories. You want to sit and consume the story and react to the story. So you don't just say, here's a stick man. Like, no one cares. Well, it's like, here's a stick man, and he's walking through a dark night in Sleepy Hollow, and he hears a noise, and then something comes out of the bushes. Now it's interesting, right? Like, just a stick man in outer space, that's not interesting. No one cares. Yeah. So the biggest mistake that artists and designers make is that they come up with this character. No one else understands it. They put it out there, and then they're like, I don't understand why no one's buying it. It's because you're not connecting with people on a human level.
Yeah, they have no connection with it. Yeah.
You need to tell a story about those characters and have people identify with the characters on some emotional level. And then that gives you an opportunity you release a character, and then a friend, and then another friend, and then like a little accessory, and then an environment, and then, something that means something to someone. And all of a sudden you've got stuff you can put on t-shirts and hats. You've got slogans, you've got a look, you've got a feel, you've got an emotion, you've got a story. And once you have a story, like once you're going down a track with a story, you can branch off and make all these other stories off of it. Like, oh, there's a supporting character. I mean, how many times on a TV show have they spun it off because there's a supporting character that everyone really liked, and all of a sudden they have their own TV show? You can just keep going on and on like that, but you can do it with toys too. You're just telling a story. So in this class, I talk about merchandising, like what to make and sell. And then I talk about world building, like what that means and how you can apply it to your own artwork. And so, like, to me, that would be the most useful, like, hour of my art career if someone was telling me that stuff early. I did study art, and no one told me any of that. So that's my class. That's at SVA, where Jason Freeney teaches. I'm like a guest lecturer.
So let's see. There was another question. What are the Ditto asked? What are the a few of your favorite pieces in your personal collection?
I love Mars One, Mario Martinez. His stuff is dope. I have you know, some pieces from Task who passed away, Little Resins. I have an old custom from him from forever ago. I've got you know, some of my exclusives that mean a lot to me. You know, it's cool that I got to work with Super Plastic and I had a you know, an exclusive Cranky. You know, I love my Danger Dogs. We love dogs, so like, you know, I've got a ton of these everywhere. My own collections in deep storage. I've got Jeremy Fish, Bison Van, Turtle Camper, some of the old, there's like old Sam Flores stuff. Let's see, all this stuff from all these toys from like 2006, 2007. You know, I always really found really interesting, just super weird vinyl toys. That was when like, that was like the golden age of like, you know, designer toys, when like everyone was just making all these weird things, you know, just bizarro, wackadoo toys. Got like Futura Point Man. Like, I don't know if you know the Nosferatu figures from Futura. I've got the original Space Monkeys with the metal legs from a company called Serial. I just have so many pieces like that. But oh, I love Joe Ledbetter, so like a bunch of Joe Ledbetter.
Me too. I'm a Ledbetter fan. I love his stuff.
Is there an artist that you haven't been able to work with that you're like, that would be on like the top of your list as one that you'd like to, like, goals?
You know, if an artist isn't, if I wanted to work with an artist, I could always touch base with them and see if they're interested. There's never a time where I'm like chasing after someone. I don't do that. If someone doesn't really feel like working with me, or it's just not the right time for them, that's fine. You know, because everyone's on like a different like sort of life journey. So sometimes they don't like me, or sometimes I don't have anything to offer them, or sometimes like it just, you know, it's not relevant or whatever. So I don't ever think about artists in that way. I'm more interested in like who's fun to be around and does really good work and like really appreciates like, you know, what I could possibly do for them. That's more fun for me. There's a lot of artists I haven't worked with, but you know, I can sort of appreciate their work and like the toys from afar. I don't ever feel weird about that. You know, there are some other members of our community for whom working with an artist becomes like a notch on their belt, like a badge of honor, because they look at artists like commodities. So they want to stack up those names. I worked with this guy. I worked with this guy. You can't work with that person because I'm working with them. And I don't think about people that way because they're humans to me. They're not things. They're not like a notch on a belt. They're not a mark on the wall. They're a human with an art career and
they're creative. Yeah.
Like I kind of like rebel against that whole idea.
I love that. That's a good word.
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, this 2023, right? We're more than halfway done. Where are you thinking the designer toy world's at? Like, where are we at nowadays compared to what it used to be, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago?
It's a very weird time right now because during the pandemic, online sales are very high. Red's so sweet. You know, so during the pandemic, when everyone was locked up and everyone was getting checks from the government, everyone had nothing better to do than spend their money on stuff that they find online. That's great for people like me because it made it really easy to sell stuff. Yeah, you're guilty. And you know, after that, everyone went back to work and left the house, and Big Daddy government stopped sending you checks, right? So the sales like went down, right? And there's a lot of fallout to that, right? One of the pieces of fallout is instead of selling $150 toys, like I'll just speak from personal experience. We were selling a lot of $100 and $150 toys, right? At that time. Now it's like $40 toys are much easier to sell, and I can sell them more consistently. $20 toys, dumpster fires, $22 to $30, right? They're cute, they have mass appeal, everyone loves them, everyone can afford $22, $25, $28. And so that's like a much easier sell right now in 2023 from a financial perspective. Another thing that's happened, two things that have happened, is that a lot of these big companies that have made forays and inroads into designer toys, Kid Robot being a really big one, but there's been a whole bunch of other ones. They make these really big pushes into designer toys, and then they just go bankrupt, right? Because whatever reason, you know, it's happened with a lot of them. You know, it's not just Kid Robot. Kid Robot went bankrupt, was bought by someone else. You know, it's like they're still in existence, but it's like it's totally different now. And I'm not hating on Kid Robot. I literally just bought a sweatshirt from them the other day and just got it yesterday. So I'm still loving Kid Robot, but I'm just saying these big companies that have pushed into designer toys, I think are retracting out of designer toys. At the same time, in 2023, it is now much, much easier for an independent artist like Jim or you guys or anyone else, like in particular, Plastic Pizza, Vandal, and all these other independent toy makers to make their own toys on their own without anyone's help, without a big, because when I started buying and selling toys 19 years ago, the artists were saying, I want a deal with Kid Robot. They were saying, I have toy designs and I want a big company to make them. Now that's all flipped. Those companies are going away. The independent artists are making their own stuff, and there's no middleman, right? They manufacture the products, they choose their own retail prices, and they're making more money. If they do a good job of promoting themselves, there's more money to be made doing that. If you're resourceful and you can do it, you get those 3D sculpts made, you get the box design, like all this stuff, you should make your own toys. If you have the wherewithal, you have the funds, you have, you know, you can handle that kind of craziness.
Patience.
Toys, you know?
Yeah.
It's become a much more and you know, the people who design their own toys and sell them directly to the collectors, those are the most interesting toys out right now.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. It's been a blast for me. Like, and the outpouring, I mean, even you, Benny, like helping me with the YouTube channel. I mean, you know, we had that giveaway week, you know, when we gave away a toy every day. Again, it brings back what we said at the beginning. You're so positive and you're so good in our community. Josh brought up, it's not Joshua to me, it's Sketch, but how do you maintain yourself and happiness throughout your busy days?
You know, that's
always smiling. Yeah, you're always smiling.
You know, when you go on, no one wants to see your droopy dog face. Like, when you get on the internet, that is not the time to complain about shit, and it is not the time to cry, because you're the ringmaster of your own circus. So what do you want people to see? And so sometimes I make, like, I'll make a little comment or a little aside to like how difficult something is or whatever, or something didn't go right or whatever, but I never make that the main focus. I always try to make sure that I'm brightening up people's days, because if you brighten up people's days and they smile when they think about you, then they're going to want to buy stuff from you. And if you're frowning and crying and complaining and kvetching all the time, nobody's going to want to buy anything from you. That is just human nature. That's not even my opinion. That is literally fact. Like it's one of those things. Like, my first website, I had a black background, and this one guy told me one time, he's like, you shouldn't have a black background on a website. It makes people sad. It's sad and dark. You want it bright and shiny. So white background, bright colors. You know, my favorite color is black, but that's why I made a black website. But that's just human nature. That's what your brain does when you see something bright and shiny. When you see a rainbow, it makes you happy. Like a bright color, you're wearing a red shirt right now. You know, you're wearing a red shirt for a reason. It's not random. It's because your brain gets like a little like dopamine kick when you see that awesome color. It's just true. Like, that's how humans work. And so you know, when you're on the internet and you're like, what am I going to say on the internet, and how am I going to be, and what's the info I'm going to put out there? Well, no one, if I'm like, hey guys, so it's been a really rough day and I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, but like, do you want to buy this dog? Like, the dog's pretty cool, but like, I got a bunch of them. I don't even know. Maybe I made too many. Like, if you even like, I mean, like, I'm a cat guy myself. Yeah, who wants to buy something?
I feel like Ditto is in the chat. Is Ditto here with us right now?
No one wants to, and no one wants to interact with a person like that. You can't complain and bitch all the time on the internet. You have to be happy and smiley and friendly.
And I tell you, doing these last 3 years, doing YouTube every day, putting videos up, and like, when you're having a bad week, it is the hardest thing to do, to go on and to show off a toy or to do a review and be happy when you're miserable. And you got to do it though. Nobody wants to see the sad face, and they want to go watch a video or a short video on something fun, get away from their crappy day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, to answer his question, I do have a dog, so I spend a lot of time outside walking the dog. She's a high energy dog, so she needs a lot of walks. I go to the gym. I like doing things outside, like playing tennis and skateboarding and being outside in the sunshine. Sometimes I put on, like, I like electronic music, so I'll put on one of my happy joy playlist and just like walk around with my headphones on and be happy about it. What I do isn't really that easy. So there's lots of moments where you're like, oh my God, like, you just don't want to do the thing, but, you kind of have to, you gotta buck up, because no one, life is short, and what are you going to do with this day? Because it could be your last day. Tomorrow you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. So and then what? Like,
I'll tell this story because maybe it'll affect somebody else, that it was the worst day of my life, but it makes sense to always say goodbye to and say you love you to your person. And because when they walk out that door, you may never see them again. And it happened to me, and it's like eye-opening. Like you said, Benny, you don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. It's not promised. You got to, I don't want to bring the whole chat down, but it's true.
There's like two ways to think about it, right? You can look at that like as a downer, or you can look at that as like your ultimate motivation for not letting that stuff get you down. You can be like really sad. Like, I even have on my website, I have an in memoriam section where I wanted to put out into the world forever the names of the people that were in, my friends in the industry who have passed away and why they were special.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them now. Artists, creators, like everyone, life is really short. And so when you're putting something out there like yourself, what do you want the world to remember about you? And like, if you look at me and you're like, you were always so smiley on the internet, like, I'm hoping that by me doing that, like, you guys felt good. And that's my mark I want to leave behind. It's not the toys come and go, but I'm a person doing a thing. And if you remember me as a happy guy that positively affected your life, that's awesome. That's the thing. That's it right there. I don't want to be Eeyore. That sucks.
Yeah.
I will say Eeyore was my favorite Winnie the Pooh character, but I really like you and your personality. Like, I don't think we've actually had a chance to sit and talk, and I really appreciate your perspective and your attitude, because I don't think there's enough people like you in the world. So
thank you. Well, same way. There should be 7 billion Bennies. That would be awesome.
With a personal remembrance of what you've done for me personally is, again, the YouTube week that we had. Like, you were just, okay, let's do it. We'll give a toy away every day and just do a review, and let's just do it. Make people happy. Give them a toy.
Yeah.
And it didn't even take anything. It was super easy and fun.
Yeah, that's
So
no brainer to me. Like you're out there building the community. You know, you're like, I have a show, and you know, I want to talk about designer toys. I'm like, well, I have designer toys, and I want to get talked about on a show. So like, there we go.
let's go.
Perfect partnership right there. Perfect.
Let's go. Well, what do you got, E and B? You got anything else for Benny? We've taken up an hour of his time already. So
Wow, been an hour already.
I know, it's wild. I think the only there was one other question I was going to ask you. You said something about not having a brick and mortar. Is that ever something that you would like to have, or do you really like where you're at right now?
You know, I yes and no. Like I'm always jealous of the other people that have brick and mortars, and this is why. The toy manufacturers give special preference to brick and mortar shops. So some of them won't sell to me because I don't have a brick and mortar. Even though I've been in business longer than a lot of these other shops, they're like, you don't have a storefront, so they won't sell to me. And that would be like the hot stuff. Like, you know, I think that might be the major issue with Pop Mart. They want brick and mortar because they're in brick and mortar. So like, you know, Sunny Angel, right? They have just recently, they had a bunch of activations at a bunch of shops, other shops, brick and mortar shops, right? But not mine. I don't have an account with them, so you know, because I can't host an event, right? Like unless I rent a space. So that's the one downside. On the other hand, I live in Manhattan, so my shop would be in Manhattan. I'm not gonna go travel far away to have a shop because like Manhattan's where the foot traffic is, right? So why would I put my shop somewhere where I don't live and that has worse foot traffic? So in order to have a shop here in my neighborhood, it would be like $5,000 a month, and then I'd have to pay for insurance. I'd have to pay for payroll, have someone working in it. There's all these things. What, someone spray paints the outside, someone, you know, breaks the window, breaks in, like all this stuff. Like there are so many headaches with a brick and mortar shop that I don't have to deal with. You know, and so I'm a little bit more like lean and flexible. Like I can weather more storms than like someone with a brick and mortar shop, because I'm just like, that whole part of the overhead of running that business, like that's just removed.
Well, and every month you're starting in the hole $5,000 or whatever your rent is. And so you got to make that 5,000 first before you even make, besides everything else.
And I just want to point out to you that unlike what everyone thinks about designer toys, the margins are actually quite low. So like, let's say the margins are like 25% all told, right? So like, you know, $100 toy would cost me $75. Sometimes the $100 toy costs me $60, but that's not every vendor. If I import the toy from Asia, let's say it's $75, right? In order for me to make that $5,000 to pay for the rent, I would have to sell $20,000 worth of toys to pay for the rent. That's not profit. That's just for the rent. So does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah,
makes sense to me. You know, like I'm not doing that. That's too much money.
So I missed Jason. And speaking of making the money, Jason had a question. Is there an estimated starting price for the cyber skulls at NYCC?
Oh, the customs? I don't really set the custom prices, although it would be very, very silly to price one under $200, considering that some of the 3 inches that are come painted are darn near $100, right?
Yeah, this one, the 3-inch was 80.
Okay, right. So that's painted, but like,
right.
You know, I mean, a lot of them are 6 inches. So, you know, the 6-inch cyber skulls painted from the factory in limited runs are like 125. So I would guess that the absolute bare bones minimum price would be like 200 or 250, and I think they would go way up from there.
Yeah, because I had a couple people ask me because they want to try to grab some pieces there. So
I didn't know how to answer it. So
one
one of them that I already, one guy who's been posting videos a lot on Instagram, his piece is 650 or something like that. So it's a lot of work that goes into them. So and they're already high priced as is. So I would guess 250, 300, 350, 400, and up from there, depending on how much work the artist puts in.
Cool. Benny, I'm gonna leave. You got the floor. Is there anything besides NYCC? I think we killed that. Is there anything that you want to promote? If you guys definitely see Benny's stuff on Instagram, you guys have met him now. You've heard him talk. You know how positive he is. Share his stuff on Instagram. Let people see the website. Let them know Tenacious Toys is out there and that Benny's the face of Tenacious. People may not know. So spread the news for him, please.
Yeah, anytime you leave a comment or engage me in a conversation in a social media post, it just benefits me in any way. Even the haters, like when someone gets on one of my posts and they're like, this toy is stupid, and then like I'll like engage them in a conversation. I'll try to draw it out as much as possible and ask them a bunch of questions and like talk to them and make jokes. And like the more they comment, the better the post does, so it's like yeah, like any kind of comment. I know it's like awkward to like share a weird post onto your own social media, but even like leaving comments and having conversations up in there is really useful. But I mean, is there anything I'm promoting? I'm really focused on New York Comic-Con right now. So I just hope that everyone either rolls up or pays attention to the stuff that's going to be up online afterwards. I am planning on anything unsold at New York Comic-Con. I am going to literally physically have here in New York. And then I have my regular Whatnot show is Wednesday. Comic-Con wraps up on Sunday, and like 3 days later, I have a Whatnot show. So that is a really good opportunity for me to sell a whole bunch of stuff on the internet, and then it's going to be on my website after that. So
let us all know, Benny, because I'll know for sure, but I know like all of us, E and B, they have weekly shows. I have a show. Ditto has a show. Like we could promote the crap out of it and get a ton of eyes on your Whatnot show.
Yeah, I love that. Maybe we can come up with some strategies, so there's like some cross promotion, So I mean, I don't even know. I'll think about that when I see what I come home with after the show. Maybe we can. I mean, we'll touch base of the show and talk about it. But man, anything you guys can do to help me just get more pieces out into collectors' hands is really, really useful for everyone.
So you go on Wednesdays every Wednesday?
Well, every Wednesday that I can do it. I have to stop maybe after the next one or two shows, so that because I'm going to be running Comic-Con, I'm going to be setting up and running it and stuff like that. So I think I might take a break from 2 shows, but yeah, and I took a break while I was on vacation. But aside from that, I mean that's kind of my time slot because I have a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And when he's home, I don't know if were you guys on the show today?
No, I missed it today.
Is it during the day?
Yeah, it's like noon.
That's why I miss it. I work boring.
It's like so disruptive. I have a 5-year-old, so like going on at the normal time, which is like 7 to 10 p.m. Like that's our dinner time. That's when we're putting him to bed and taking a bath and all that stuff. And it's like I can't sacrifice that time. It's like it would be so disruptive to everything. So like Wednesdays at noon, I'm like, everyone's out of the house and this is my time,
Great. Well, we'll definitely start shouting out your show because we run on Saturdays. So if you're Wednesdays, we'll make sure to promote for the following week. So
okay, that's awesome.
And there'll be a ton of shows. I know the Creatives Cards Series 3 is getting ready to drop. Once those come out, there's going to be so many more artists that are going to be popping up. They already are with Red sharing out their cards now. It's just the community is going to keep on growing, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, that's a really cool project. He's one of those creators that's like I always have respect for really, really resourceful creators. Like he had this concept and he had the wherewithal to carry it out. And not a lot of people could do something like that. It's not really repeatable by very many people, because you have to check a lot of boxes to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, respect to Red. Because
100%. 100%. All right. Well, again, thank you, Benny, for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Please share out this video, guys. Like, you can reshare this live is posted, and people can come and watch it and get to know Benny. If you don't see him in this room tonight, share it to some people, put it out on Instagram, and get more eyes on Benny's shop, and it'll be, just better for everybody, really.
Thanks. Appreciate you, man.
All right, Benny, I will have a package out to you beginning of next week, because I got to get him out of my house.
Right. Yeah, get him into my house. I already have a storage unit waiting for all these customs. So
all right,
just sit there. Thank you.
All right, Benny, have a good night. We will see
Thank you, Benny.
Thanks, Benny.
We'll see you on the interweb.
Hell yeah. Nice to make FaceTime with you guys.
All right. Good night, Benny.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wow.
Hey, Cardi.
What's up, Cardi?
I love him. Like, what a cool dude.
Does it seem like every time we have a guest, well, of course, all our shows have guests, but after every show, isn't it amazing how much you learn from somebody in that 1 hour? Like, who knew that he played tennis? Like, come on.
I'm gonna start bringing a notepad and taking notes.
Because we're gonna have a trivia. We're gonna have a YouTube trivia in our year anniversary. So, what's up, Cardi? What's up,
Donna said he's cooler than Ditto.
Oh, way cooler than Ditto. Ditto couldn't even show up for the show tonight. He was so drunk he couldn't even show up tonight. So no, but I love his his spirit is just like contagious, how positive he is. I just really like that.
Rock, I think you're muted.
We can't hear you, Rock.
Or is it us?
Sorry, I hit my mic.
Okay.
He's helped me so much. Like, I haven't asked him for a ton of. He's just like so willing to help. Like, there's not many people out there like that. People like to keep their guarded secrets. Like, you ask somebody, hey, where did you get your mold made overseas? They don't want to tell you, because then you're taking away time from their warehouse or their factory. They don't want to tell you that kind of stuff. So I really love this community. There's some really good people.
The fact that he goes to school and like gives that knowledge and that education to people that, he's not getting any benefit from it other than sharing the knowledge to others. That shows the kind of like person he is right there.
Did he ever say which school he goes to?
Yeah, he did, but I didn't write it down. He did say.
He said SBA maybe, or I'm not sure.
But between him and Red, that's what helped me with my characters, like with who they are, where they came from, what they're about. Like, those two definitely helped me in getting my mind to think about like characters and what I'm going to do and stuff like that. So,
School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. There it is.
Yeah.
That was a pop quiz. Good job.
You guys were paying attention. Good job.
Yeah, School of Visual Arts. Mock Guinness. Irish knows it. So Cardi, you're gonna have to go back and watch the rerun. There's a lot of cool stuff Benny said. So, just man, that again, another cool guest. That was fun.
Yeah.
What do you guys have coming up? Self-plug time.
What are we running on Saturday?
We are going to be running some super plastic this Saturday. Now, what else do we have?
What kind of super plastic are we talking?
We got some crankies, we got some gorillas, and we have a couple other things coming in that might be here in time. We'll see.
We've got so much stuff that's like overseas.
I have some, and then I've had some shipping delays with Martian and Strange Cat, but I want to talk about that.
Can't do much about that.
Yeah,
it's been like almost a month.
We've got some Series 1 Creatives cards, 2 boxes that we're trying to figure out when to run.
I don't know, guys. I was talking to somebody about, I think it was Jason that he needed a few cards, and I'm like, now that I think about it, if I was you guys, that Series 1 box, if you could just stick one of them away, when Series 4 and 5 come out, and you guys whip out a Series 1 box. With those artists in that set, like
Yeah.
Gold mine.
Yeah, that's why we have 2. So maybe we'll, maybe when Series 3 runs, when Series 3 drops, maybe we'll do a Series 1, 2, and 3 box all together. Do like a long, show of it.
It's always good when there's a lot of newer buyers, like they just found out about the creatives. Oh, you have Series 1, like I enjoy getting the cards in people's hands that are brand new to the project.
It's cool to be able to give them the opportunity to get some too, like people that have never been able to snag any, or like are brand new to it and they didn't hear about it until their friend got into Series 3 or something like that. So.
Yeah, and I still got 4 or 5 boxes of 2 that I'm gonna sit on for a little bit. But B, are you just getting excited to know that your card's out there?
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm so anxious. I'm even anxious to just get the preview, like how Red's been doing the previews every day. So I didn't know with the Rising Stars if he was going to do a preview of our cards or not, because since there's only one card.
I don't think he will.
But I looked, and the Rising Stars last year had previews.
Oh, well, maybe.
I think.
Maybe.
And so yeah. In a way, I don't want people to see my card until I was kind of like, oh, I don't want it to be previewed, but also it'd be really cool to get to see it. But
yeah,
I'm really anxious to get that first box and to open it and to just get to see it. Because I'm hoping it translates the same way that it does on the. I've only seen it on the iPad.
It'll be better. I think it'll look more with just a flat.
Yeah.
I can't wait to rip packs and to pull your card. And I'm already making Series 2. I was right at the game when it first dropped, and I made connections throughout, right, for Series 2 with the artists and stuff. I've already made connections with artists now in Series 3 coming up. So all these new artists I've already talked to, or now a couple of them are in my Series 3 toys and stuff like that. It's going to be such a huge community by the time Series 3, Series 4, Series 5 comes out. We're just starting this whole journey.
Yeah. And I did drop a little tiny Easter egg that my card has a lot of hidden stuff in it. And so I'm really excited to get to show people that, because I think maybe E and my parents know, and that's it. And so I'm really once everybody gets to see the behind the scenes stuff on the card is the best part of it for me.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see Cardi's 3 cards this time. Now he's got 3 in it.
Yeah.
We saw the 1 card already.
It's amazing, man. I saw that card. I was like, oh, every day I get so excited to see the previews. And when I see an artist that I know, I'm like, whoa.
And to see Sketch, Sketch is another one. I remember Sketch coming on my Instagram live, and we're just hanging out. Didn't know who the heck he was. And now he's doing Whatnot shows. He's got 3 cards in the set. He's I'm going to meet him at NYCC. It's just it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So
I can't wait.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting. So, and
it's almost I don't want to look at the previews because it's spoiler alert.
I know.
I can't help myself.
No, but it's still only 1 card. You can kind of see where that artist is going to go or what they're going to be about.
Yeah,
there's some cool ones.
I think it'd be fun. I haven't figured out how we're going to do our first box. When we get our first box and open it, I don't know if I want to open it live or if I want to open it with you guys, on a live like this, and we can all or if I just want to have a time with E to open it and have that moment sink in. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet.
You might, your card might be the card 13. You never know.
Oh my gosh. What if I don't pull it in that first box?
We'll rip open master cases to find the B card.
Oh my gosh. And then I'm like, do I want that or not? Because I don't know if
you don't.
If you want your card to be you see it every other card that you're oh geez, this card again. I don't want that feeling.
Well, here's the deal, B. I was thinking this, and I don't know why I was thinking this the other night. Probably because I'm jealous that you're in it and I'm not. But no, I was I was thinking that if I was you, like whoever, like if they get multiples of your card, I would tell those people, okay, I'll send you a DIY card or whatever you work out with them to send me your extras. Because then when you go to shows or you go to a con or you go to set up at a booth somewhere someday, you have as many of those cards of yours as possible. Because I know Red only gives you a few of your own cards. But
5.
yeah.
I think 5.
So I would be collecting as many extra of those cards as I could to have in my personal collection to be able to sign or give away to somebody for, whatever. That's me personally. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And because like not just for like collectors, but like for my family members, like it'd be cool to be able to
Right.
give one to like, my best friend or somebody who doesn't know, but they like the fact that I do art. And so I'd love to be able to give them a piece of my art. So I wish that you could like copy it and create it and over and over and over again.
He's not reading.
Well, like what Seven Sketches did, he made prints. He made prints of his 3 cards, and I actually got the big versions of them. They're big 11 by 14s of his actual card.
That's
Prime did the same thing. He has prints of his characters.
Yeah, just do a 5 by 7 print of your card.
I'm gonna have to double check in the contract and make sure it says that you can do that.
Yeah. Or do a variation of it,
Yeah. And so, and now that I have my logo, thanks to you, because you're the one that's like, I need a logo so I can promote Series 3, the minis. So I was like, okay, I really need to work on this logo. And then I had Eve vectorize it for me.
Yeah,
so
it looks good too.
Now I want to get it, and it's simple, but that's kind of what I wanted. And so now I would like to get some stickers made of that logo, and get that, going. And then, eventually, I'm definitely not up to the point where like I'm ready for like a designer toy or anything, but I think that like it would be fun to have some t-shirts or, just something. And I don't know what the, demand will be for those, but it'd be fun to just have some stickers for sure. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Cause you're going to want to send them to people with your stuff and, when you do commissions, when you're all popular and, we can't even get you on the show. He has to come on by himself and,
oh my gosh, whatever.
So
it's a fun ride.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I was really hoping it would drop for NYCC, and hopefully it still does. I'm still holding out hope, but
fingers crossed.
If not, no.
Have we talked about like the upcoming shows? Like,
let's talk a little bit about that. So
I know I got you.
The dates are still iffy for me because of NYCC. I know I'm gone for that whole week. I leave on Wednesday and I don't get back till Sunday. But our plan is on DT4, guys. We are gonna feature Series 3 Creatives artists on different shows. So we'll have 3 artists per show. And you guys interrupt me if I'm wrong, but 3 artists per show. Just quick interviews. Talk about what their card's about, where they from, all that, just for you guys to get to know the artists. So we are planning on doing that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We've already locked in a couple. You guys want to announce that, like who we have already for sure?
Yeah. So I just talked to Grimly, and so Grimly is in. 33 minutes each, 3 artists per episode. So it's for Series 3 Creatives. 3 episodes of 33 minutes apiece with 3 guests per episode. Y'all got that many threes?
3.
And so Grimly is in. And I'm working on nailing down a date, but definitely Grimly is going to be in. So I'm super excited about that. And I think
Sketch is in.
Yes.
DXE's in.
Yes.
I think that's who else we have. There's a couple in the works that's not a for sure yet, so I don't want to announce it.
He's got one.
Yeah, I locked in Enox. I know he's nobody really knows Enox, but he's in Series 3 and he's an amazing artist. So he'll be in there as well.
So that'll be a great thing to get these artists' names out before the cards hit, you know? So you already have a name and a face to their cards when they drop. It's going to make it so much more fun to rip open packs,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think just getting to meet them and like talk to them, just kind of like how we just got to talk to Benny. Like I had never really had a conversation with him. And so being able to like talk to him really gets to like, you get to know their personality a little bit, which kind of draws you to their art, you know,
Yeah.
and to their cause. And so I think it's going to be really nice to get to chat with them. So
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned with this, guys. If we could have everybody in the chat help us get the word out to get people on these. We're getting the same people in the chat every show. I know that we are getting a lot of views after the show. There's Arlux is in here. We were just talking about Arlux. You're gonna have to go back and rewatch the show. We had Benny on for about an hour. Again, Arlux has been so good to me lately. They're gonna help me get some packaging done over there in the Philippines. Help me with blister packs, help me with some molds for some designer toys, to do some casting. So Arlux is the one who makes this toy, and they're in the chat right now. So actually, Arlux, I got your shirt on as well for NYCC. So yeah, it's but just spread the word so we can get more people in the chat. And I know we've missed a couple weeks. We got to be more consistent, which we are trying to do. Now that summer's over, it'll be a little easier.
And it sounds like with some, it's possible that we may go next week, right? Is that what we were talking about next week?
Yeah.
So make sure to keep an eye on IG on our pages and stuff, because yes, we're trying to become more consistent, but we also may be a little more frequent here now for a bit, because we want to try to get as many of these artists on as we can before Series 3 creative comes out. Yeah, we don't know exact drop of that yet. So,
and just a plug of mine, what's coming up for me is there's going to be a preview show. The 26th is the drop date for Series 3 minis. So EMB will have cases of them. Ditto is going to have cases of them. So that after the 26th, probably even that Friday and that Saturday with EMB, hopefully I'm going to try to get cases in their hands so we can have that week or those 4 or 5 days in a row of opening up some minis as well. But the preview show prior to the 26th, we're going to have some artists on. I'm going to try to get some artists on the show just to talk a little bit about what they did on the minis and, you know, what their inspiration was. So that'll be a lot of fun having some of those artists on and kind of get in their brain what they did. And we might open one case of there'll be a case of just my figures in there, just to get everybody. I can show off the actual figures of the commons of the non-chasers. So we might rip one case of that to let people see them. So that'd be a fun show. And I'm just getting ready for NYCC. I'll also have some pictures here by the weekend of the two pieces that I'm putting in the show, so you guys can see them.
Can't wait to see those. That's going to be so cool.
They're kind of different. So it's first time for me, so I'm learning as I go. But I wish I wasn't doing the Series 3 at the same time, because I could have really done some more crazy stuff with the customs, but they'll still be okay. They'll still be fun. So, but that's all I got. If you guys don't have anything else.
So your preview show for the minis is coming up this upcoming?
It's before the 20, whatever that Tuesday is before the 26th. I don't have.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the 26th is the actual drop date. We're actually going to release Series 3. And so the week before that Tuesday before, it's all on my whatnot. They can bookmark the show. Will be the preview show that you guys are going to want to be at. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Well, and sorry, it seems like we're still having mic issues. So we're going to still try to work on getting this fixed. So sorry guys about all the tech issues.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it was pretty rough.
It seemed like it was working fine for a while, so I'm not sure what happened, but
I don't know. You guys must have aliens or something in the neighborhood that, you know.
That was it. It's Ditto's fault. We'll blame him. He's not here.
Yeah. Well, he's having computer problems too, so he can't say anything. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all we got for tonight. We'll see you guys. Please keep an eye on our Instagrams. All our different Instagrams. We'll be promoting what's coming up next. But again, thank you, Benny from Tenacious Toys, hanging out with us. EMB, again, thank you for hanging out and keep doing what you're doing. And we will see you guys. You have a show Saturday. We have Ditto has a show Friday. So you guys got a lot of stuff coming up this next week. So don't get sick of us. We'll be around.
Thank you guys for being here.
That's all we got for tonight. Everybody be safe. Stay happy. And gosh darn it, guys. Be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other.
Oh my gosh. Don't do that, E. That was terrible, B. We'll have to freeze frame that and get that sent out.
I can't stand you. Get out of here.
It's just a filter.
All right, guys. We're going to get out so we do not have a murder on our hands on live.
Divorce.
Whoa. All
right, guys.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.